And last pick is going to be a Skywrath Mage picked up by LGD. What do you think about that pick?
Very good with the clockwork, obviously. Hookshot into Mystic Flare. It's very good combination. And the other thing I feel, which is the stronger reasoning why they picked the Skywrath, is they are also worried about IG coming to try lane against them, as we talk about today. So they want a support which is really strong in the lane. So Skywrath is very good in protecting the carry, and he's very strong in the lane.
Alright, so that said, it looks like the game is going to get underway. No traditional pause to start it off, so we'll jump right into the introductions for LGD Gaming. We're going to have the PL played by Sylar. We're going to have Zhao8 playing the Keeper of the Light. De3 headed down to the bottom rune. We're going to have MMY on the Skywrath Mage. We're going to have Yao on the Clockwork, and last but certainly not least, maybe he'll be playing on the Shadow Fiend.
And on the Radiant side, we have Luo playing the Viper, which indicates something fishy going on. Abaddon played by Faith. Leshrac will be handled by Ferrari 430. Drow on Burning, and lastly we have Chuan, my Malaysian friend, on the Venge. So it'll be Abaddon plus Viper, I guess, offlane, and Venge plus Drow safe lane. Leshrac middle.
Should be pretty interesting as it lays out. They're definitely going to be at core with that Ferrari. Leshrac, and you think that's the right choice to put him in the middle position?
So what they are planning to do is, because like I talked about, they have LGD has an aggressive trialing which is pretty strong, so they don't want to commit everything, but at the same time they do not want to give the PL free farm. So you put Viper plus Abaddon, you are making sure that there's pressure in the lane, but you don't put 3 heroes there just in case things go sour. You don't waste 3 heroes experience. So
Sylar walks uphill, walks right into Faith and Luo, who immediately starts to harass him. Sylar going to have to back off, but the rest of the crew is coming in, and they will secure the top rune. Bottom rune will go with no contest whatsoever to Ferrari as he heads back towards his mid position. So pretty even bounty spread, a little bit of harassment on Sylar, but he is already tangoed right back up to full.
Yeah, so it'll be once again the Shadow Fiend versus Lesh matchup, and gonna be pretty similar to the last game. I don't think anything special would happen. It's just gonna be Lightning Storm versus Ray Spam. And if you look at the supports, so it's gonna be down to the supports to get killed. So I think IG having the Venge and LGD having the Skywrath, because like any of these rotation from both of these supports will be able to help either the Shadow Fiend kill the Lash or the Lash kill the Shadow Fiend. So I'd say it would be down to the supports, and Abaddon would be holding an early teleport scroll, I think, to help out the lanes as well.
Makes sense. Alright, so if you are in the position of the supports here, when are you going to look to try to get into that middle position to get the early pick?
Shadow Fiend just bought a smoke, okay. What? Oh no, he bought it wrongly. Okay, so you're talking about timing. So I think the perfect timings would be maybe along the lines of getting the first knight, so vision is scarce, so it's easier to gank at the 4-minute mark. Or you just gank early, like between 1 to 3 minutes, but you need to use a smoke. And it depends on the positioning of the wave, where the creep wave is. Like, for example, if you look at the middle lane now, it's very close to the tower of the Shadow Fiend, so obviously it's harder to gank the Shadow Fiend, and it will be easier for the Shadow Fiend's support to gank the Lash. So stuff like that will influence when and where you should gank.
Luo taking a shot, Illuminate to the face. Now he's got to fall backward as Sylar puts up some good harass. Nice play.
This is not an easy lane at all, like the spam from the Cortal and the Phantom Lancer.
Meanwhile, over on the bottom, Chuan taking some hits as Yao and MMY go ahead and just take their opponent's jungle. So yeah, we're not interested in a lane, we're just going to go here and cause trouble.
Both sides not willing to give like free farm towards their carry. Like LGD is worried that the Drow gets, like the tempo of the Drow is too smooth and comfortable for him, and he's going to take Roche and push down early, so they want to pressure the Drow as well. Same goes for IG, they don't want to give the PR free farm, so both sides sort of have the similar early game plan.
Alright.
Is this gonna be the rune that starts things off?
And it does. Chuan headed straight back to the tower with it. Does not look like he's interested in making an engagement with it.
Oh, bottom lane.
Bottom lane, and they're making the move on Burning. Burning dropping pretty low, caught inside the cogs. Tower range for Yao, but not going to matter. Burning will be the first blood. Yao drops pretty low. Chuan's got that haste turn, but can't engage into it.
That was really, really good awareness, right? They know the Venge went towards the rune to get the rune, so for that like 10-second window opportunity, they have 2v1 situation, so they just dive onto the Drow and manage to get the kill even without any points in battery assault.
So they get, a very beautiful kill. And this is how IG started off the last game with some really great early plays. It didn't pan out for them, but that said, they also did not have... I'm sorry, this is how LGD started or IG started it. They're losing the beginning. It's late. I apologize. I got totally sidetracked
Don't
there.
worry.
It has been a long day, but I'm excited to be here with you guys. All right, gold is in LGD's corner, not by much. 1,000 at this stage of the game, I guess, does make a little bit of a difference, but IG with a strong lineup and going to be able to get right back into this, presumably based on how they played their last match.
And looking at the jungle, I talk about like stacks. So far, because of the lane positioning, like the PS under pressure, so the Cotter isn't able to leave the lane to go for stacks, and same for the Skyraf because they are both busy in their lane. So I don't think there'll be much stacks for the Shadow Fiend this game. So he needs to be able to do fairly well in the lanes, otherwise it will not be so easy for him to come back. Because usually we see Shadow Fiend having a lot of stacks, and even though he didn't do well in the lane, but he's able to just come back into the game because of the stacks. But
Lulu gets the shield from Abaddon, wants to go in deep, chases Sylar underneath the tower, and now he's taking a lot of damage. Sylar turns back around, healed up pretty well. Lulu dodges the Illuminate though, and does manage to get away. 9 wand charges.
Just very aggressive play from them because he knows that he has a Abaddon backing him up, so he's able to play and push his hero to the limit.
And he is doing so. Sylar, also out of regen, has been having a tough time staying in lane up against this Viper, who has been playing very, very aggressive. Over in the mid position, let's check in with that. Shadow Fiend is at 14-2. We have the Leshrac sitting at 17-7, so he's doing pretty well. But like we said last time around, Shadow Fiend just hit level 5, and we should see him start to take a much better position in this lane.
Yeah, definitely. Level 5 is always a point where the Shadow Fiend starts to assert his dominance in the lane. And looking at the other lanes, Drow is at 15 and PL is at 16, so we can see the effect of the lane pressure coming into the safe laners. Usually you see the carries having much more losses than this. Here we go again, bottom lane. They're gonna go
making the move, comes from behind, catches him inside the cows. Burning drop below, Sean trying to help, but Burning inside's got nowhere to go, pops out. We lose Burning, Chuan looks like he's gonna go down. It's gonna be the double. What a play by LGD, starts this off 3-0.
Yeah, that was like a really good positioning from the support MMY Skyraf. He was hiding behind the trees there, waiting for the appropriate moment. And the Venge was actually trying to scout out the Skyraf, so he was like running around but he couldn't find the Skyraf. So they were caught in a very bad position because Drow didn't understand the positioning of the Skyraf, and Clockwork just ran up and just got him in the cogs and he was dead.
Sylar taking some damage, goes ahead and easy escape, doing a great job with that doppelganger to stay ahead of Luo. So basically what we've got on the top is Luo and Faith trying to put harass on the PL, and they're doing an okay job of it, but on the bottom, they're not just getting harassed, they're getting pickoffs on Burning, and that's really, I think, putting them behind LGD right now.
Yeah, so at this point you just saw, like, Faith just got a teleport scroll after boot, so he's gonna be ready to back up the other lane from now on, but provided they fight near the tower.
Alright, so let's take a look at the rotation down towards the bottom. MMY's got the backup of maybe as they start to rotate.
Oh, he's level 6.
Oh, he caught it. Goes out the hookshot, catches Chuan. Chuan's got nowhere to go, and that'll make it 4.
And this is just the supports and the Skyraf and Clockwork playing really well, dictating the pace of the game even though the other lanes are under pressure. So now LGD is in I would say a very comfortable lead just because of how the lanes pan out for them. Totally did not expect that because usually against a Drow lineup, you would have tough lanes because of the aura.
Shadow Fiend up to 6. MMY comes over, puts up a nice ward behind the middle, starting to maybe allow, maybe to put some pressure on the tower. Sneaky ward. So back they go. Ferrari sitting at level 7. Meanwhile, up on the top lane, Zhao 8 under some attack by Faith. A little bit of harass here. Just eats his way through the trees and gets to safety. So right now Drow is sitting at level 6 up against this Clockwork, who is even on levels, has support of MMY. Is she in a pretty tough position? Like, what does she need to do?
She is, because 3 points in battery assault. It's just, she's gonna die every time if he gets hooked outside of tower range and the Abaddon can't keep it. But now they're gonna try and go in, but Abaddon can teleport in to help out. But the silence is gonna just make sure that the Clockwork can't initiate. Yeah, but one thing about the Gust, so every time the Clockwork hooks in, you can actually push the Clockwork out of his own cog, so that will actually buy you some time. So Clockwork's gonna move towards the middle lane to try and get a kill on Ferrari because he knows that the Drow Ranger is actually playing really safe now after what happened the last time. So he probably not gonna get a kill in this lane, so he tries to get a kill in the other lane, courtesy of the Observer Ward placed by MMY before this. So there's gonna be really good vision for him to land a hook.
Alright, so we are getting a little bit of some ping issues, but it seems like it's balancing out, so we'll just stay
here we
and
go.
hope it ends.
Ferrari's
Oh,
gonna get
in
caught.
the middle, they make the engagement. Ferrari gets caught. Yao is taking names, man, as he makes a move in, catches that Leshrac.
That's really good team play with the observable ward placement. He knows that Leshrac is still up in the lane, and he was just able to position himself at the spot where he just needed to wait for the Lesh to come towards the 8-minute rune and get the kill. That's really good play overall.
Right now, that does put the Skywrath Mage at 3-0 and the Clockwork at 2-0,
Yeah,
as they have been putting in work down here on this bottom lane.
Casual regen so that he can go at it again.
Grabs the regen. 49-3 for the Shadow Fiend in the mid position. Leshrac 37-12. Viper 41-11, getting some pretty good farm there up on the top lane. And Drought not really boxed out, so she's her CS is okay, but the deaths are going to be hurting her.
Yeah, the deaths are hurting her, and now we see the Leshrac rotating down, trying to help the lane. If they get a
Burning
stun,
wants to go. The orb's working on MMY. MMY jumps into the trees, almost gets him. He's going to go for the TP. Can they find him? They do.
That was close. That was close, but at top lane, meanwhile, Luo managed to kill the director with a Viper Strike, so that's going to help him immensely with the level and item progression that he's going to have.
So IG gets a nice double across the map at the same time, basically, and two much-needed kills for them.
That was very important for them to help out the draw. The draw was having such a hard time.
Absolutely. All right, so gold after that is 2,000 the way of LGD. 1,000 XP, and as we hit the 10-minute mark, LGD a little more in control, but do you think it's overwhelming at this point?
I wouldn't say that, because IG can still hit their timings to push the towers if they actually manage to get. I would say they need the items they need, which are important. Maybe a BKB. BKBs would be important on the Leshrac, because this game there's so much stuff that can kill him. If the Clockwork decides to go for a Blade Mail, that would be really good against a hero like Leshrac.
All right, so the Clockwork did just miss the hook shot. Would have been a really nice play for him on the bottom lane, as he did have his support.
Did he buy something? Oh, he's going into a Vanguard actually.
The Clockwork?
Yeah, he bought the Vitality Booster. So because of the start that he has, he decides that he wants to go for the item that will help him a lot in the early fights, which is like the best choice. There is a Vanguard against IG's lineup, because IG's lineup is a lot of physical damage. A lot of physical damage.
Now it smells it out. Look at Clockwork falling back. Yao knows something's up, and there's four heroes on the Radiant's jungle.
Thanks to the deep wards. Even though they were smoked, because the wards didn't spot any heroes in the lanes and jungle, so you know something's up. Just look at the 3 wards. They literally see the jungle and the middle lane.
Yeah, so they have great vision of the map. We'll actually open up the vision chart so you can take a quick look at that. This is what Radiant sees versus what Dire sees, and they have just a great overall perception of what's happening down on that bottom lane. And saved a life, man.
And the next important thing for IG is the 200 gold, the 100 gold shot from Lore, from the mecha. So that's going to be a timing that they're going to want to have to at least, I think, take some... at least 1 or 2 tier 1 towers that would be really important for them to take. And looking at Leshrac, still just the only 1 point in the edict, but still gonna allow them to help take the towers in a fair amount of time with the mech coming from the Viper. It's fairly soon.
Burning getting himself back into this. Level 8 right now. Let's look at the net worth stack chart. Shadow Fiend out in front. Not a big surprise. A hero like Shadow Fiend does so good. It's just sort of getting out and staying ahead. Viper at 44 and Leshrac at 42.
There we go, Toffees. The smoke, Mystic Flare plus hookshot is going to come into play now.
Here comes Yao looking for something. Gets the hook shot. In he goes. Catches Burning. Mystic Flare. Boom. Burning drops low. He's still alive when they finish the job. It will. So down he goes, and Yao and MMY walk out with swagger on their face. As again...
There we saw the Gus pushing him out and almost saving his life with the shield, removing the silence from Skywrath, but it wasn't enough because there was still enough damage to kill him off.
So not a great start. Let's take a look at the KD right now, just to put us in perspective. Burning 0-3. Meanwhile, up on top, good call. It looks like Luo on the run. Ulti from the Shadow Fiend. That'll be enough to get Silent in range for the pick.
Did he manage to get the mech recipe before he died? I think he did.
Ferrari, though, in no man's land, and he's got the backup from Faye, so they want to go after maybe. Maybe he's got to fall back here.
Radiant's top tower
and they can't fight into it. It looks like LGD just fade away.
Yeah, and at least he got the mech recipe before that, so he didn't lose too much gold. That was important.
So Mech is also picked up. Shadow Fiend up and running. The Vanguard has been finished by Yao, so that is going to be a 13-minute Vanguard. And do you stand by that's the correct build to go when your Clockwork gets a good start?
Some players think Blademere, like Bone 7 or the Western Clockwork players, like that. They like the Blademere more because it's more offensive. And Vanguard is like it makes sure you don't die early on because you have a lot of survivability, and because you don't die, you get more items later on. But Blademere is just more offensive, and one is more defensive.
And now, speaking of offensive, Luo comes in. They start the orbs all over the place. Burning's going to get hit with the flare, and Yao goes down.
That Vanguard almost paid off if he actually didn't die there.
That said, Burning and Yao come in, or Luo come in and get a really important kill. And we'll now start to push up on the tower just a little bit. The rest of their team comes in to join them, and this should be the death of the bottom tower unless we see a big response from LGD. Faith gets hit, ulti's popped, he doesn't care, he'll keep soaking the tower.
This tower should be gone. Yeah, this is a goner.
And there it is, the tower does go down. That'll be the tier 1. Meanwhile, up on top though, tier 1 being pushed by Sylar as he starts to put some serious damage on it. He's got the creeps to stick around, and the glyph is down. So this will be a tier 1 for a tier 1. TP comes in, is cancelled.
Yeah, it's not going to be able to save the tower. So this is looking very, very favorable for LGD after the early laning phase against a draw lineup, which is impressive. Be honest.
Yeah, definitely doing a great job. I'm not gonna lie, I am finding it very difficult with this TP animation from the compendium to quickly figure out who's TPing in. It's incredibly frustrating. Alright, so jungle farm time for Burning as he goes in there with a little bit of help from his buddy Chuan. Protection in place. Zhao 8 on lane, but big rotation. Smoke coming out from Yao and MMY is the combo. Same thing. Big hook shot catches Burning. Mystic Flare. Good swap. Chuan will give his life for his friend, and Burning will escape.
Same story, but different ending because the bench is 6 now.
Same story, different ending. It's like the Hunger Games up in here.
Yeah, that was really important to save Burning. I mean, if he dies there again, it feels like the game is like half lost if he died there again.
Definitely. So 3 and 9 gold lead at 4,000 for LGD. XP at about 4.5. Push is on for the bottom tower, but they would not mind getting a hook on Luo, and he is going to fall back. Not interested in sticking around and risking it, and they will assault the bottom tower. Meanwhile, mid tower under attack by Ferrari on the Lestrak. How's his farm coming with where it needs to be?
I think it's still okay for the situation he's in. They're gonna try.
Actually, we'll go back to the bottom where Luo re-engaged. Out comes the ulti from Maybe. Faith has his ultimate pop. He's gonna start to heal up immediately. Luo dropping low, caught inside the cogs, hit with the Mystic Flare, dropping down. Can they finish the job? Nice juke through the trees, but the last parting shot, will it be enough? It will not, no, but it will if Yao comes in. Hits with the hook shot, beautiful play. Goes to the TP right away, no stun coming, and he'll get to safety. Meanwhile, look at Sylar. Boom. Top tower drops.
That was really huge. Sylar got a tier 2 at top and they killed the Viper at bottom. And LGD is just all over the place right now.
All over the place in a good way. Like, they're everywhere that IG does not want them to be.
They defended the middle. It was important that they defended the middle tier 1 as well. Kotal Xiao actually went towards middle doing the miss of everything, and he secured his team the defense of the tier 1 and middle with 1 hero, where IG was pushing with 2 heroes. That's why they couldn't react in time, because LGD were using their resources much better. 1 hero to defend middle, IG was pushing with 2, and they used the rest of the heroes to actually take the tier 1 at bottom and get the kill on the Viper at bottom as well.
So towers dropping incredibly fast for LGD, doing a great job of it. Gold lead jumps up to almost 7,500 for LGD at this point in the game. XP at about the same. That seems like a pretty decent gold lead at 17 minutes into this match.
And that is, yeah, it's immense at 17 minutes against, like, usually Drow lineups, if you falter in the early game, it's very hard to come back after, because Drow is a hero, again, a momentum based hero, and he revolves around taking Rosh early and grouping and pushing early, but in the case he is right now, he's just unable to do any of that.
It looks like Zhao 8 has started to build that Ag Scepter. He's got his first piece up and running, the mech on the Shadow Fiend. We have that Diffusal Blade finished up on the PL.
Wow, he is so farm after the start that he had.
Such a good start. I mean, Diffusal by 17 and
yeah, he was having a hard time farming the lane as well against the Viper.
But he's looking good now. 1,200 in the bank, so he's going to keep pushing out at this point. But right now, he's not even ratting. He's just farming the lane, uncontested. Nobody's come to stop him.
Doing carry things, I would say.
Doing carry things. Hashtag carry things.
Yeah, it's just thanks to his teammates. I would say MVP towards the clock and the Skyrock making so much space for him to farm.
Absolutely. Now we do see a smoke rotation. Chuan Faith leading it in with Luo on the back end as they look to get a pick-off here. They are going to see MMY in the water.
The least valuable pick-off they can get.
Yeah, so they do get one, and if you're going to lose to a smoke rotation, that's the one to lose for LGD. Meanwhile, still uncontested, Sylar pushes up that top lane and then immediately head towards bottom, and he'll start leading on this tower.
And they're going to defend middle with the Kotter. This is...
brutal.
You remember what happened the last game?
Yeah.
When this happens.
Oh my goodness. So this, you think this is going to be Sylar picking up the Boots of Travel pretty quick to just reiterate what we saw last time around?
Boots of Travel maybe later, not so quick. He's just going to rely on the Kotter to move him around in the map, because usually PL you want to get your Manta plus Diffuser ASAP and maybe build into a heart later on.
Look at Yao. Yao's out here by himself. He's got the Invis rune, just looking to get a kill.
He's so strong right now, like for a clockwork at 90 minutes.
And uh-oh, he's going to find himself some Chuan. Chuan's going to walk into it. He decides not to take it, or does he? Waits for him to pass by, says, I'll see where you're going. And he waits. He walks into the Illuminate, basically. Nice swap. Puts faith into the target and gets away.
He had enough time. He thought he had enough time to just battery plus power cock, so he didn't want to use his ultimate, basically. But it wasn't, it cost them the kill. I think he would have gotten the kill immediately if he just opened with the battery plus hook shot immediately with the Illuminate hitting on the bench. But it's not a big deal at the end of the day. So it's just a support kill, even if they get it. They're in a position where they're so far ahead that that kill would actually matter nothing.
Yeah, so basically they're down there, they're making space. Meanwhile, Sylar goes up and takes care of the Ancients, finishes up his Yasha. That's on the courier right now.
I actually think, Toffees, if LGD were able to secure the first Roshan, they would have probably almost won the game. If they are able to make enough space and time for them. Because they don't exactly have a lot of minus armor this game compared to the last game where the IG team had the last game, Bristleback plus Shadowfiend. This game is just a Shadowfiend minus armor, and they don't really have heroes that can build medallions usefully, because Kotter wants to build his axe, and Skyrock this game, maybe he can build it after, but yeah, it's not an ideal item on a hero like Skyrock. But if the important thing is if they get the Roshan, it's gonna be almost the game won for LGD.
So right now, maybe going into the jungle, farming up, excuse me, has that Blink Dagger and that mech, and 2,500 in the bank. So what's the next thing he's going to go ahead and grab here?
It's a lot of options though. I think you can actually get a BKB. It's like okay, so, but it doesn't help you against Drow. But so he'll more likely, I think, get armor items. Stat plus armor, so Skadi comes to mind, SNY Skadi or Manta. Manta you can disjoin like the Magic Missile or the Silence from the Drow, and the Viper Strike, so Manta could be a valuable pickup here.
Absolutely. Now we do see that there is no vision for the Radiant on the Roche pit right now, and you said that Roche could mean the win for them, and they're going to do it. They're in there, they're in deep, they are almost done with Roche, and we still have not seen a response.
It's taking a while, but because they're so far ahead.
Chuan now sees them in there. He's calling for the cavalry, but all he's going to see is Roche is low, and they can't really respond in time. Faith now responding. Luo going to join in, but not going to get there. Down goes Roche. Shadowfiend picks up the Aegis. And,
this is really bad for IG.
Chuan in a bad spot, gets hit immediately by maybe. In comes the hook shot. Down goes the Vengeful Spirit. Nice play by LGD as they continue to run away with this match.
This Clockwork has been, Yao has been playing really well in tandem with the Skyrock Mage. They're both really working together as a team.
They're doing very, very well. Those hook shots have been absolutely phenomenal. The gold lead, by the way, still sitting at that 7,500 mark. Will jump up significantly after this. The PL going to go straight for Harass, and down will go the bottom tower. Glyph used here, so that Glyph will be down for the next time they decide to make a push.
They're going to defend the middle tier 1, and he might actually go down here.
So the Glyph bought a little bit of time, but not enough for Ferrari to take mid. Ends the jump. Ferrari on the run. Chased from all sides. PL too strong. Down goes the Leshrac. And I don't know, man. I'm starting to hear the death bells ring.
This is looking really bad for them. He built into a 4-star first against the Clockwork, and he's still a long ways away from his BKB. That's really important for the last round this game. He needs the whole recipe. It's just, which means that he's gonna take another, I think, 5 minutes to get it. I would say if maybe 3 to 4 around there, depending on what happens the next few minutes. But another hook shot there.
Big
collects on 2.
Oh, catches 2. Big Mystic Flare. Gonna reap 1. Follows on Faith. Reaps 2.
Rex?
Pushes the high ground. And the GG comes out 23 minutes. LGD makes IG. I don't know. Just that was rough,
just,
man.
Like I said, the draw line. If you have a draw lineup, you don't get the first Roshan. It's like you're sweating your head out. You know, you have a draw lineup and the opponent gets the first Roshan and you're in such a bad position in the game just because of that alone. That's why I said it was so important for them to get the first Aegis, even though they were behind, but they couldn't, and they gave it away to LGD. But it was also